Hey there guys, I am the Six Machine and welcome back to another Warhammer video. It seems the Eldar ramp up is carrying on in the lead up to the Codex pre-order, and today we are taking a look at the biggest boy on the block, the once terrifying and then not so terrifying, but now possibly terrifying again, Wraithknight. The datasheet for this model has actually already been leaked, but as you can see on your screen now, it is so incredibly blurry. To be honest with you, you can't really make out many of the rules at all. I'll keep it up for a little bit just so we can go through some of the stuff you can make out. It looks like the Wraithknight has got 22 wounds, the 3-up save, 12-inch move, strength, toughness of 8, much like it currently has. It looks like the main profile change is that bump up to 5 attacks from the current 4, as well as an increase from 19 power to 23. Which may well put the Wraithknight in the 400-ish point category. It does appear to have gained the Strands of Fate army ability, although like other Wraith units, not battle focus, thankfully. And then on top of that, again, like other Wraith units, that inbuilt -1 damage from its Wraithbone form. It has also now got a base 5-up invuln thanks to its agile construction, but as the article says, you can boost that up to a 4-up invuln thanks to the newly buffed scatter shield. On the weapon front, the article goes through a few, but also from the blurry datasheet we can just about make out some of the others as well. The heavy Wraith Cannon has got a bump to heavy D3, strength 16, -4 AP, and D3 plus 6 damage with the blast rule, and also doing an extra D3 mortal wounds on wound rolls of 6. You could, I guess, argue that it's a tiny bit more swingy when it comes to the number of shots, but the boost from D6 damage to D3 plus 6, and now doing those extra mortal wounds on top, just makes it a far superior weapon to the current version in my opinion. Alternatively, you could take the somewhat lackluster Sun Cannon, which they show off in the article. It currently fires heavy 2d6, strength 6, -3 AP, 2 damage shots and has the blast rule. This has now got a fairly hefty boost to strength 8 and a flat 3 damage. It's still incredibly swingy even with the blast rule, so I can see it being somewhat neglected for that reason, but still the potential for 12 strength 8 3 damage shots is honestly quite a tasty one if you did want to try it out. And then finally, of course, the Wraithknight has its melee tools, the Ghost Glaive and its Titanic Feet. First up, the Titanic Feet now seem to not give you the extra attacks when you use them, and instead just let you swing at strength user, -2 AP, and a flat 2 damage. So in total, that's a bit of a net downgrade. The flat damage is nice, but you don't double or triple your attacks anymore, so you get a lot less hits into your opponent. If you want a real melee powerhouse, the Ghost Glaive is where you want to go. This now comes with 2 profiles, the Sweep profile, which gives you 3 hit rolls for every attack at strength 8, -3 AP, and 2 damage, so that is absolutely going to tear through almost anything that you throw your Wraithknight at, from infantry all the way up to vehicles. Or if you see someone like Mortarion against you and you prefer the really dead option, the Strike profile gives you strength plus 6, so strength 14 base, -4 AP, and a flat 6 damage. Now, funnily enough, compared to the current version, this is actually a bit of a downgrade. The current profile is strength times 2, so taking you to strength 16 instead of 14, so there is potentially a slight nerf there. However, with the extra attack on your profile, and the new Sweep profile that you have access to, as well as the fact that you can now mix and match your weapons, so you can potentially take the Ghost Glaive and the heavy Wraith Cannon, I think overall the extra utility and the slightly higher number of attacks means that the sword is a bit better overall compared to the current version of it. Finally, the Wraithknight does, as you would expect, still explode when it dies, and can, like Imperial Knights, move over and across units with ease, helping you to avoid getting bogged down or tied up by tiny little chaff units. I think from the blurry leak and this small article, we can say that the Wraithknight overall has had some fairly significant buffs to the same sort of level that Imperial Knights stand at, although I would argue that the Wraithknight appears to have a bit more survivability thanks to the easy access 4-up invuln, the fact its invuln works in melee as well as at ranged, and obviously that flat -1 damage from being a Wraith unit. And then in terms of damage output, ranged in any case, it pretty much outperforms the Knights in almost every way. But there we go, yet another smallish Eldar article from Warcom, but we can take a bit more, as I said, from the leaked datasheet. I think the Wraithknight will be a viable pick, depending on the points cost, of course. It does look like it is going to be going up, but hopefully it won't be much more than sort of 400, maybe 420 to get it on the battlefield. And I think at that points value, with the weapons and the survivability that it has, as long as you point it at the right targets, it can very, very easily make its points back before your opponent can bring it down. But what do you think of these new Wraithknight rules and abilities? Do you think it stacks up favourably compared to the Imperial Knights, or are they still the big boys on the battlefield? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me, but until next time, I'll catch you later, guys.